everyone, and welcome back to the HCW YouTube channel. My name is Rate Wrestle, and once again we are doing a Kamikaze Pro preview, but we are joined by a debuting, the last king standing, JC. How are you doing?
Hey. It is me, JC, last king standing on Rate Wrestle. You know what we're going to do. We're going to break this down. Kamikaze Pro Live 37 in the Kamikaze Pro Dojo, nonetheless. So,
Yeah.
Let's get to it, man.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that because I completely thought we'd bring that up. Yeah, so the dojo show, so they had the 10th anniversary show, which anyone that went to it was at the dojo, and they're actually having an actual dojo show live from the dojo as well. I loved it when it was in the dojo, I'm going to be honest.
Oh yeah, man, it was electric. It was electric the last time. I was helping out on that day. And yeah, it was a blast, man. Just seeing, guys from the past, guys from the future, some of the boys also performed. So Max, Edgar Adams, Nate Riley, the future's bright, and the dojo's in good hands. So
Yeah.
as you guys.
Yeah, so the dojo as well. It's like a big unit as well. It's all standing only, but it's pretty cool at the same time, being able to stand around the ring. It shows a big atmosphere, and for anyone that likes alcohol, it's good for that too, because they bring cans and you pay for cans.
Yeah.
Before we go into the actual event, I need to go into a rant. I went to Progress. I paid £7.35 for a pint. That's outrageous.
That's robbery.
Yeah, so you're never going to see that at Kamikaze.
I mean, especially at the cost of living prices, bruv. Like,
it's not even a pint.
$7.35.
Yeah, it was for a shipyard ale. It wasn't even a pint. It was one of them plastic cups. It's I was outraged.
I'll tell you what, yeah, you got better chance on putting down a mortgage than £7.35 in alcohol, bro.
Yeah, it was already happening, and I was like, I'm thirsty and it's hot, and you've already said it now. But yeah, we'll kick off to the actual show after that rant. So it's this Friday. So it'll be 2 days from this recording because it's coming out on a Wednesday. 15th, Kamikaze Pro Live 37. So we're going to kick off with a couple of with a debut. So Samuel Hughes is going to be facing the debut in singles action, Sonny
Let's
Nosi.
Go. That's my boy right there, big Sonny Nosi. Hey,
I'm glad you said that because I thought you were on about Samuel Hughes then. Was really surprised.
Nah.
So Sonny debuted in the Rumble last month, and Samuel Hughes lost against the Ring Gremlin of all people. And then for a Pacific, Samuel Hughes this year in singles action is 2-3, so he's lost more than he's won. So how do you think this is going to go?
Oh man, hey, listen. So I'm gonna break it down for you guys. I'm gonna lay down the law with you guys. So Sonny Nosi, he's been training very hard in the dojo. He's also one of the only guys I've met anyway at the time of being in the dojo that has also debuted in other promotions before Kamikaze. So especially if you're around the Black Country area, you might have seen him debut, or you might have seen him helping around at shows around there. So yeah, but this is the first time that he's actually been in the Kamikaze not the Kamikaze Dojo, sorry, but actually been performing for Kamikaze. The guy's good, he's quick, he's got a lot about him. You know what I mean? It's going to be a great match either ways. Obviously, we know about Samuel Hughes. We won't talk about the fact that he beat me by poking me in the eyes. That's a common thing with people as of late. But yeah, he did get the drop on me either way. So he's looking to build a momentum. As you can say, you've alluded to before, he's kind of being consistent and inconsistent. You know what I mean? One win, 1 point, then I lost another, and then another one. So it's kind of been a seesaw thing for him. He wants to get that, big kind of streak kind of going, like some of the other guys like Maximus, Socorro, for example. But yeah, man, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see how these styles clash. these guys are around about the same similar height as well. So, you know, obviously Sam is more of a powerhouse kind of type.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of Sonny Nosi, more technical, and likes to run with quite a few strikes. But again, we'll see how that plays out. He might completely switch up his style. You never know. But yeah, man. I mean, I didn't get to see too much of what he was like in the Rumble. But from what I've seen and heard, it's going to be an absolute banging match.
Yeah, so I'm glad you laid out a description of Sonny Nos because it will be my first time seeing him because I haven't seen him in any shows that he's debuted previously.
He's got a lot of fire.
He's obviously going against a tough opponent in Samuel Hughes. He is a bit inconsistent at the moment in time, but Sam knows how to cheat. So it depends on if Sonny can watch out for being, either he said like yourself, he got poked in the eyes, or just a good old kick in the dick. Sam's not against any of it.
No. I mean, the way I see it, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not like a lot of different guys who are like cheating's wrong. Like, the reality is, listen, if that's the way, if that's the way you gotta win, you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta do what it takes. You know, you gotta do what it takes to win. So it is what it is. Let's just hope Sonny Nos watches out for those tactics, because again, Sam's quite smart. He's the red-headed rascal after all.
Yeah.
A Kamikaze Pro. So let's just hope, you know, Sonny Nos can watch out for that. And catch Samuel Hughes off guard and hopefully pick up the 1-2-3.
Yeah, if I had to go with it, because Sonny Nos is very unknown to myself, I'd probably just go with the experience of Samuel Hughes to pick up the win. But from what you've described, it looks like it's going to be a good debut matchup for himself.
I think it will be much more even than you think. I think Sonny Nos could actually pick up the win here. Again, like I said, unlike, you know, for example, compared to myself, I wasn't on any of the shows before I came to Kamikaze. And Sonny Nos has that over a lot of us. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's some more tricks in the bag that he's picked up from other places to bring here. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think Sonny could steal one. I think Sonny could steal one. And especially if we look at especially if we look at guys like the Ring Gremlin, like that, you put that into perspective, like, hey, Sam doesn't do well when he doesn't see stuff coming. And I mean, I know that sounds kind of cliche to say, but you know, sometimes people can have surprises and still be able to adapt on the fly. And as we've seen, Sam, he struggles with that kind of thing, you know.
So it's gonna be, it's an even matchup, and the only way you can find out is going to the show, which the tickets will be in the description. So we'll move on to the second day singles debut. So we've got Luke Douglas, 21st century hero.
The greatest sports culture of all time. Hey, let it be known. Let it be known, Coach Mohan.
I feel like there's a bias there, and I don't like biased on this channel.
Oh, no. I've got so much love for this guy. He knows it. I've got so much love for this dude, man.
But yeah, there's no bias on this channel. Anyway, so Luke Douglas, one of the greatest wrestlers come out of Kamikaze Pro Dojo, versus Coach Mohan, as you described here. So it's his debut. He debuted last show, technically, in the Rumble. Luke, he came out on a loss against Kieran McQueen, and he is also on a 2-loss, 3-win. So it's probably the worst run Luke's had within the dojo, so it is probably the best time to catch him.
As I tried to do last time, didn't quite work out. I don't know if we're going to play the clip of me getting super kicked a million times, but
I wish I had it.
But yeah, so it didn't quite work out for me, you know. And again, this is actually going to be a very interesting match. So Coach Mohan, he is the greatest sports coach of all time. This guy, again, he puts his mind to it. He learns as he goes along, you know, that kind of thing, you know, to kind of get results around here. You know, that's how he's been working. He's been picking up from the best. He's been coming to seminars, etc., picking up from the greatest minds in wrestling, you know, and now he has a chance to prove, you know, what he's learned against somebody as dangerous as Luke Douglas. Now, you think about it, it's kind of again, like, it's kind of either or in the sense that Coach Mohan has every chance of beating Luke Douglas, but as I found out, when Luke Douglas is on a losing streak, he's a lot more dangerous than you think.
He's an angry man.
That's the thing, and I hope what he doesn't do is just brute force his way through Coach Mohan. That's what he did to me, and I can take a kicking, but he unfortunately one of us was going to give, and unfortunately it was me on that day. But back to Coach, hopefully that's what he doesn't do. Hopefully he can catch him off guard, get in Luke's head, and hopefully pick up the one. That's what I'm expecting from Coach, and especially because he's been scouting, he's been watching Luke at other events. I was at an event the other week and he was there watching how Luke Douglas fights. So, hey, all I'm saying is Luke's got a tall task on his hands, man. He's got a tall task on his hands. And the other thing is that he doesn't know how Coach Mohan fights. That's the other thing. That's the unpredictability, We all know, we've all seen what Luke's been doing over the years. I may not be 100% with the guy, but at least I have a lot of respect for what he does, and he's one half of the Kamikaze Pro champions, Kamikaze Pro tag team champions. So you know what he's capable of.
Yeah,
but again, these debuting guys, you don't know how they fight. You're kind of learning on the fly. So let's see if Luke Douglas can adapt to that.
Yeah, so anyone follow Coach Mohan on Instagram, there is an image of Coach scouting Luke at BCCW. So he's going full in. As a coach, it's good to make a game plan. Is he as good as Taguchi, though? One of the best coaches in the world?
We'll have to see. You'll have to see.
Bring him over.
Yeah. I think we should have a coach versus coach battle.
Book it, Kamikaze, you cowards.
maybe him versus Jonathan Coachman. Let's see who comes out on top.
Oh, what a triple threat! But yeah, so this is one of those things. Like there's no person in the world that I will go against Luke with. So Luke's definitely going to win this match in my mind, and especially as said, like he lost his last match, and he's not very usual to lose 2 matches in a row. And as you found out, Luke will play around, but then if he's lost his last match, he'll just try and go full on, just kick your face in.
Yeah. As the saying goes, a man is most dangerous when he has nothing to lose. And you better hope Luke doesn't fight like he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, but yeah, sounds like 2 great matches. We'll be moving on to for some familiar faces now going ahead. So we've got Will Stevens fighting Chantal. So Stevens lost to a certain JC.
Was that me?
Yeah, I heard a kick to the dick. And then
I can either confirm or deny that happened.
Did the match get restarted? I just want to know.
I can neither confirm or deny me using some chicanery to defeat Will Stevens.
I'm guessing Carl Robinson didn't see that kick to the dick.
No.
Because he would have restarted it, wouldn't he?
What kick to the dick? The ref didn't see it. Carl Robinson didn't see it.
Will Stevens
nobody saw it.
Surprisingly, Chantal was coming off a loss, which you don't hear often. So she lost to the number 1 contender for the Kamikaze Pro Live Championship, Edgar Adams, which we'll be discussing later on. So Will Stevens is 0-1 in singles matches because he doesn't really have many singles matches within Kamikaze as of yet. And Chantal is 3-1. I'll be honest, like this is gonna I can't go against Chantal Jordan. It doesn't matter what it is, especially because she's coming out on a loss. She'll want to avenge this. But Will Stevens is a big guy, so it's going to be the battle of can she kick the crap out of someone the size of Will Stevens.
Well, here's the thing, though. We've seen Chantal Jordan kick the crap out of people the same size as Will, bigger than Will, stronger than Will. You know what I mean? Again, Chantal's been a lot. She may be only like 20 years old, but she's been around for a very long time. So she's been against all different types of opponents, all different shapes, sizes, genders, etc. So I mean, it's probably another day in the office for Chantal as far as she's concerned. And that's no shade on Will Stevens, because I faced him twice. That man can hit. You know what I mean? The man can hit like a freight train. That's no joke. The man can hit hard, you know. And especially somebody as well, which I think nobody really credits Will Stevens for, but he's quite very good in the technical side of things and the grappling side of things. He can lock you up. It's, you know what I mean? It's not even funny. And he's got great knowledge of like MMA and jiu-jitsu kind of background, that kind of stuff. And obviously Chantal is a well-trained kickboxer as well. So again, those are two kind of grappling, kind of striking styles matching up against each other. We've seen it in other promotions with different types of wrestlers. So again, this is kind of our kind of style kind of meshed together. So we'll see how that turns out. Will Stevens is a very angry man, as I've pointed out many a time. It'll be interesting to see exactly how he gets on with a former Relentless champion and a former Kamikaze Pro Live champion in Chantal Jordan. She's kind of the measuring stick almost, her Luke I was about to say Luke Jordan, Luke Douglas. Luke Douglas, and of course, we'll get to him, George Lydon. I think those are probably kind of like the guys who are consistently in Kamikaze Pro Live. Those are kind of the measuring sticks, to test yourself against, test how good you are against. And if Will Stevens can get past Chantal Jordan, then what does that say for me? Because I've beat him. But on a serious note, it obviously does wonders for Luke. I said Luke. It does wonders for Will Stevens, because again, he is a very, very tough opponent, and a lot tougher than people think.
Yeah, obviously it's not like Gay Can and stuff, but people like Will's champions in other promotions. Like, he's not like, he wouldn't be a champion in a promotion if he wasn't good in the ring. Chantal has to also face the well, it's not facing, but there's going to be Astor's going to be around.
Yes,
so
the
yeah.
demon rap. We have to. So yeah, as I found out in my last match and in the tag match that I had with Kieran McQueen, he is a difference maker, a hell of a difference maker. You'd think somebody the size of Hasta wouldn't be as scary as you think until you see him up close. And he puts fear in your eyes, man. Yeah, you look at him once and that's it,
Yeah.
And again, I found that out in my match. Luckily, I was able to overcome that. In the tag match, he was such a factor in that match. Like, we didn't have an answer for him. You know what I mean? And Chantal Jordan has had an answer for Hasta. Of course, they had the tag match a few shows ago. And they were able to pick up the win, the Jordans. So, again, if she can see past Hasta, if she can see past those creepy ass eyes, because Jesus Christ, there's some creepy ass eyes. If she can get past that, and she can get past, Will Stevens' grappling knowledge and his brute strength, then yeah, man, you're looking at another dub for Chantal. But again, don't count Will Stevens out. The man is an absolute tank. What I mean? Absolute tank. Again, don't think this is a walk in the park. It is not going to be at all.
Yeah, I can't look past Chantal, but it is a big match of Will, and I think like Will's got nothing to lose really in this matchup.
No.
If you lose Chantal, it's not like a massive thing because you've lost Chantal Jordan. So it's going to be a great match. Moving on, we've got a matchup. Before we speak about your own match, we've got a match with Maximus Socorro. Versus the current Kamikaze Pro. Oh wait, he got cheated out of the title. Alex Connors. So Alex
Yes.
lost to George Lydon,
Oh boy.
and Maximus beat Hassan Ali. So for the tale of the records, Maximus is 4-0, and Alex is 4-2 within Kamikaze. He's lost to George Lydon, and then he also lost to K Jutler, which is no small feat. This is going to be a hell of a match because Maximus is undefeated and is just walking, well, not walking through people, but he's doing very well for himself. And then Alex Connors is coming off of a loss which shouldn't have happened in his eyes and in mine. So he's going to be in a very, very angry, dark
Oh
place.
boy.
Yeah.
Well, you better. Oh, first things first. You better pray that he doesn't show up on the review that you do next time, because oh boy, I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be in your chair, mate. I'm just saying, I wouldn't want to be in your chair. Yeah, this could be a very tough match. Again, Maximus Socorro, absolute beast. I've known him for a while. We debuted at the same show.
You've tagged together as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've tagged together as well. You know, the Kings of the Colosseum. We've also tagged together in other promotions, and again, I have so much love and respect for that guy. He's shown me all his different battle techniques from ancient Rome. Again, he's kind of getting used to life in the 21st century, rather than however so BC or AD. I can't remember which one it is. I'm not that great on my history.
BC, yeah, BC.
BC, probably BC, you know. But yeah, the man's a hoss. Like again, he's probably one of the most complete wrestlers. You know, he can strike, he can grapple, he can fly, he can lift. You know, he's a big, strong guy. So you know, it's kind of hard to spot a weakness, you know, in someone like Maximus Socorro. And again, Alex Connors, you know, as crafty as they come, you know, probably I'd say one of the most intelligent wrestlers we have. Definitely someone who you wouldn't want to try and play a chess match wrestling style, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to get into one of those with him, because he's always one step ahead. You know, that's how he fights. He always fights one step ahead. And again, to come into somebody like Maximus Socorro, I can only see as a challenge for Alex, in the sense that this is a puzzle that he now has to solve. If you know what I'm saying, this is a puzzle that he has to solve. You know, nobody's been able to beat him. So if he can find that weakness, if he can find that chink in the armor, if he can find that Achilles heel, so to speak, no pun intended.
There was a pun intended.
If you can find that, then you know that swings heavily in the favor of Alex Connors, and even more so. Earlier this week, Maximus Socorro actually picked up an injury. Now I don't know how.
Let me tell Alex. Come on, what happened?
How I wasn't there. He happened to speak to me afterwards. I don't know how serious it is though. So we don't know whether it's a minor injury or something serious. But if it is something that he does make the show and he does fight against Alex Connors, then we'll see. We'll see. But I still heavily favor Maximus Socorro, because again, the man's fought in the Colosseum. You know what I mean? He's fought against all Connors back in ancient Rome. Again, he's battle tested. So I'm pretty sure something like an ankle injury, however big or small, that won't phase the man. I'm going for Maximus Socorro, 6-0.
Wonderful. But now we know he's injured. Call Alex Connors.
Nah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
But yeah, it's a difficult one because Alex is very much, as I said, we go, and he won the Kamikaze Pro Live title but got caught. Well, he didn't even get caught. Like Carl Robinson decided he got caught. So he's not. He's the only proper loss was against K Jutler. But he's going to be really annoyed about this loss. So it's it's a very difficult one to go for because when he beat Maximus, beat obviously Luke Douglas, but Luke was playing around with his food a lot in that match, and Maximus was smart enough just to catch him off guard and pick up a win. It's very much it's gonna be a very good match, I'll be honest, because Alex is not someone to take someone lightly. He's probably the most experienced person Maximus has fought, because Alex has been around for a while. Luke had, but I'm sure, yeah. It's going to be good. I'm going to go with Alex because I feel like he's going to bounce back from this. But it's going to be a very good matchup. But it wouldn't be an insult if Maximus picked up the win. And then
I think sorry to cut you.
No, man.
Especially out of the guys in the Kamikaze Pro Dojo 2.0, Max is our heavy hitter. He's probably the strongest person to put Kamikaze on the map. He's probably the strongest person, the face of the Kamikaze Pro Dojo 2.0. As we said, as you mentioned before, Alex came up short against George Lloyd, and of course that was getting in his skin. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear here. But
yeah, no, you can swear as much as you want, mate. Yeah, go on.
I was gonna say that it would definitely piss Alex Connors off. That he wasn't able to get the job done, and the fact that for that split second he was the Kamikaze Pro Lord champion. And now that he's kind of he feels wrong, he feels robbed of that opportunity. Again, this is one of those situations where he could go to town on Maximus Socorro, but again, like I said, Maximus Socorro, he's withstood the worst. He's withstood the worst. So
yeah, it's just going to be a very good match. Just from the experience factor, but as said, experience doesn't mean much to Maximus Socorro. I'm going to go with Alex Connors. But it's going to be a banger of a match, and probably one of my favourites that's going to happen that show. We will move on to a match that you're familiar with. So we've got JC versus Kieran McQueen. So JC, you beat Will Stevens with a kick to the dick. Kieran McQueen beat Luke Douglas. McQueen is 2-2 in singles competition, and you're 1-3. But that was the big win and kind of the momentum swinger. So best person to speak about it is yourself.
Right. Hi guys. I'm JC. I won my last match. So did Kieran. Great match. Now, listen. Here it is. Yeah. Here it is on the plate. You see, me and Kieran, we get along like a house on fire. We've tagged together in the past. It didn't quite work out. Unfortunately, Kieran got dragged away to another dimension by Hasta.
That's outrageous, but carry on, yeah.
And I was left alone to fend for myself, considering I've basically been a punching bag for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
It is what it is, I it's easy to pass the blame and see people as like a weak link, but I didn't see Kieran as that. I saw it as, we both went out, we both went ham, but the better man won at the end of the day. And well, not that demon rat. We don't talk about it.
The demon rat, yeah.
Absolute demon rat. But it is what it is, right? Again, both of us picked up a win in the last match. Kieran, again, Kieran's a difficult opponent because for his size, he doesn't fight like most guys his size.
Oh no, definitely not.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's a curve. That's a huge curveball. Someone like him you'd expect to be a lot, quite quick. But Kieran's a heavy hitter, man. He strikes.
Kieran likes to smash people.
Yeah, he's got more of a striking powers to him. So that's the first thing which is kind of throws you off, essentially. And also, he doesn't stay down. If you want to beat him, you've got to, what's the saying? You've got to put some work in. You can't just slouch around and think this is going to be an easy walk in the park. And again, it's going to be very interesting. Also, I think, which is very interesting, is how things are going to work, considering every match I've had so far.
Yeah.
In order to beat me, you have to cheat. No, if you think of it, all right, Alex Connors, what did he do? He faked an ankle injury. When I injured mine,
Yeah.
I lost. The tag match, Kieran got dragged away to a next dimension.
Yeah.
That happened. Samuel Hughes, I got poked in the eyes just when I was about to finish him, ended up losing a match. The only person to beat me so far who did it by brute force was Luke Douglas. So now I have somebody who is willing to put up a fair fight, so to speak, in Kieran McQueen. So this will just be a test of who wants it more, who wants to add a 2 to that, to that streak. I've just won my match against Luke Stevens. Why am I getting? Sorry,
No, don't worry.
Will Stevens. I won my match against Will Stevens. In fact, let's address the elephant in the room, because I know people are going to be questioning. I'm not going to take like I'm on some moral high horse or whatever. Look, I did kick him in the dick.
There we go.
And listen, I'll be honest, right? I'll be dead honest. I was frustrated over the last few matches. Everybody cheated. Everybody cheated to beat me. So I was like, right, if you can't beat them, join them. It is what it is. I'd had enough. And that's what helped me pick up the win. Okay, I hit him with the CDT afterwards. Boom, 1, 2, 3. That's how it all ended. So again, I like I said, from that standpoint, I get it. If that's how you want to win, if that's how you do things, cool, fine by me.
Well, you didn't get caught, so that's all it is. Yeah, you never got caught. So
listen, I'm not gonna do that to Kieran, because Kieran's my boy. I respect him too much.
Oh, okay, I see where this is.
I respect him too much.
You have agendas.
I'm not gonna do that. Who doesn't? It's wrestling, you know what I mean? Who doesn't have biases towards other people? You know what I mean? It all happens.
I'm not biased towards anyone. Yeah, this is clean cut journalism.
But again, I respect Kieran too much. Again, the guy, he's a very tricky opponent to deal with. As am I. I've thrown a lot of people off over the last few matches.
Well, again, you did it majorly against Alex Connors. Like, you threw him off his game completely at the start of the match.
And that's mainly because, again, like I said about Kieran, I'm not a guy that fights my size either. I am 6'5", but I'm not a heavyweight. I'm not a powerhouse. I'm not military pressing people every 5 minutes. That's just not my style. It's not how I do things. Exactly. That's just not my style. Do you know what I mean? I've never thrived off being able to lift people a million miles, a million feet in the air. That's just not my style. So that's how I've been able to cause kind of upsets and throw people off their game as well. And I also like to play mind games, which I won't do with Kieran, because I love Kieran too much.
I don't know. Like, I remember the fateful time you may have seen that I had Samuel Hughes on this podcast, and he was facing Hassan Ali, and I went, "You're both too good, guys. Maybe one of you's got to take the. Maybe one of you's got to do something." Then Samuel Hughes kicked him in the dick, and look how that's turned out. So.
It is what it is. All I can say is that, listen, as the hashtag says, as I say in the hashtag a lot of the time,
kick to the dick.
Not just my match, just my match, but for all the matches here, we're going to be cooking in the dojo. So definitely, this is definitely a show you can't miss out on. You can't miss out on Friday, 15th of September. Get your tickets, come down, see the show.
It's one of the funniest cards you've got so far as well. There's debuts, there's very keen on competition. It's going to be a fun show, but we're going to round off with the 6th match on the card and the main event. So we've got George Lydon, the reigning Kamikaze Pro Live champion and the Relentless champion. So Mr. It's the two bouts himself versus Edgar
Yeah, one of the
Adams,
two belts.
who won the Roulette Rumble, I believe, because I wasn't at the show, but I'm assuming that's how he's got the opportunity.
Yep, he did.
So Lydon beat Connors. Adams beat Chantal and then won a Rumble, so he had a fantastic night.
Yeah.
So Edgar Adams is 2-1, so he's got a good record. But George Lydon's 5-1, and the one is Chantal Jordan, which he did obviously. What's the word? He did redeem the win. Oh, I can't remember what the word is. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is going to be a fantastic match. Both are high flyers. George Lydon's a bit more of the strike game, but Adams can strike himself. How do you think this is going to go?
Oh man, I'll be honest. This is the toughest match to call out of the card.
Oh, with the champion in as well. Oh.
It's the toughest match to call, simply because no one's been able to, again, similar to Max, no one's been able to stop George Lydon.
Except Chantal Jordan once.
Yeah. And even man like Darius, they had a triple threat not too far ago. And George still came out on top. So, and he's the Kamikaze Pro champion.
He's a monster.
Match.
I'll be honest.
He's
young and it makes me sad.
Again, he's only just turned 20, and again, he's been around for a very long time. Like I say, the future is bright in Kamikaze, and the fact that he is the double champion, the Kamikaze Pro Live champion and the Kamikaze Relentless champion. Only the best wrestlers can hold two titles in the same promotion. Then you can see that from WWE all the way down, to the likes of Kamikaze. If you hold in two titles, you're the best of the best. It is what it is. George, honestly, I became a better wrestler from watching him. Genuinely, like, just the way he does things, the nuance, his form, the way. Again, a lot of people don't understand how good he is technically.
He's just silly. I'll be honest. Good. Yeah.
It's so good. It's stupid, like, how good this guy is. And again, that's just through years of hard work and dedication. You got Edgar Adams on the other hand, who again has been around training with Kamikaze for quite a while. He's got his big break, and again, like, nuts. This is probably two of the best guys of Kamikaze you're gonna see fight here. Edgar Adams, arguably the best in Kamikaze Pro, the Dojo 2.0. George is obviously the best of the best in the Kamikaze Pro Live division. It's going to be very interesting to see, again, speed versus technical prowess. It's going to be nuts. Again, you look at Edgar Adams, he's so quick. So quick. He's not called a speed demon for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, it's genuinely hard to catch. I've done training matches with him and trained with him. He's even when he's injured, he's so hard to catch. You know what I mean? It's like an orange blur. Like, legit, he's so quick. So we'll see if George has an answer for Edgar Adams is just absolute blistering speed,
Yeah.
Or whether Edgar Adams is the Kamikaze Pro Live champion or George remains champion, it's going to be a great match.
Yeah.
Great match full of just hard hitting, fast paced. That's what I'm expecting from this match, and I know those guys can deliver that.
Yeah, it's going to be a great match. I think Edgar's the only person that probably can out quick George Lydon. But the trouble with George, and it's not trouble for him, is that he's so young that he improves every match he has as well, which
the guy has no weakness.
It's horrible that he does. Like, technically wise, he fought Chris Ridgway, and then the next few matches he's become a lot more technical than he was. He adapts,
Robbie X. And that was just like, again, you see him fight Robbie X, Chris Ridgway, etc. That's just the caliber, the level, that George Lydon's on. You know, fighting guys like man like Darius as well. Like, you know, that's just the caliber that he's on. He's just up there with some of the best in the UK at the moment. And you know, like I said, unless you are willing to throw everything and the kitchen sink at this guy, it's going to be extremely hard to beat him. I've never seen him lose a match. Never seen him lose a match. That's how much, you know, that's how crazy this guy is, man.
I've seen him lose one against Chantal Jordan. That's about it. Everywhere I've gone, like obviously going, I saw him at BCCW. He won that match. WrestleCon, he won that match. George is he's the monster. But yeah. So anyway, it's hard to go past George for myself with this because George knows how to pick up a win, and Edgar's quite, as I said, he's still moving along. But it's going to be an incredible match.
Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful match. I genuinely can't wait to see this match. I'd say what Edgar has going for him is his speed,
good catch him, yeah.
His durability as well. I think that's something which people don't, you know, account for. His stamina, you know, not a lot of guys. I know I can't, for example. I'm not somebody who could go at 100 for, you know, a duration of a match. You know what I mean? He can. So that's, you know, that just shows, you know, how good Edgar Adams is. You know, there's not a lot of guys who can who can go to 100 and stay at 100 throughout the duration of a match. Edgar Adams can do that. You know what I mean? He is capable of that. And if George starts to feel a little, you know, less than 100, Edgar's capitalizing on that. He's pulling through with that. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a test to see if George can keep up with Edgar. And I know that sounds weird saying it because it's George Lydon and he's the double champ, pro live champion, relentless champion. But Edgar Adams is a different beast. You know, he's a different beast. You know, compared to people he's faced before in the past.
Yeah, so that will round up the preview for everyone. So show is this Friday, tickets still on sale. The venue is literally in the middle of Digbeth, so it's probably about like a 10-minute walk from New Street Station for anyone that wants to get there. I'll whack the tickets below. JC's Instagram has been on the page. Your social media is slightly different on Twitter, isn't it?
No, so it's JC Wrestler everywhere. No spaces, no underscore. It's JC Wrestler on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. The only thing that's different is Facebook. It's just JC.
Sound. They'll be in the description anyway. So as usual, like and subscribe. Our crap's on the top of the screen if you care about that side of it. And is there anything else you want to add before we end this?
Oh man, listen. Just listen. I'm gonna say it like this, yeah. Kamikaze Pro Live 37. Last few shows we've been absolutely smashing it. You know what I mean? And hopefully, you know, we're able to do that again. Hopefully, we're able to entertain you guys. And like I said, we're going to be cooking in the dojo.
Literally this time.
It's not raining.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm saying hopefully it's not as hot. But yeah, we're going to be cooking in the dojo for you guys. You know, look out for some amazing matches. Look out for the future of wrestling. You know what I mean? It's always good to come to shows like this to support your local indie events, support your local wrestling shows. You'll be able to see guys, you know, before they go off to, you know, maybe bigger places or whatnot, or, you know, you'll be able to see the future of wrestling in the UK. You know, it was Driller Maloney who said this, and I 100% agree with him. He was like, the UK, especially Birmingham, probably has one of the best scenes in wrestling. You know what I mean? One of the best, if not the best. And yeah, man, honestly, I can't agree more. You know, I mean, we've got so much talent here. We've got so much talent in Kamikaze. The future's bright, and that's a JC guarantee.
And what a note to leave it on. So yeah, that's bye from me, everyone.
Catchphrasing, man.
And we're out. Oh yeah.